Welcome to another episode of SOS VHS. Today we're 3 days shy of the new year, and we have big announcements.
4 days.
4.
Oh yeah, 4 days.
Math is not my thing.
Yeah.
You just
Actually, 5 days.
roll with it.
Yeah.
I did 27. I did.
There's no
Get it right.
dates on this island.
Get it right.
Anyway.
Sure. Let me start over. Hey.
No, we're keeping it.
No, I know. All right. But we're doing new things in the new year.
Yeah.
One, we're gonna do the show bi-monthly, so twice a month, because we're planning new content to come. You know, different things we're trying at 7X. So yeah, hold tight.
Bisexual bi-monthly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Am I getting a show?
You get on the show.
Yeah, you get a show.
The
You
skeleton
get a
show.
Yeah.
Oh.
And today we're doing also something slightly different. To close out 2023, we're gonna give you our top picks for our best favorite movies of 2023.
Top 5 each of us. Yeah.
Exactly. And some honorable mentions, right?
Exactly. Honorable mentions and movies to watch, things like that.
Where do we start? Do we start with number 5 and then we'll get to
I say we go down. We go 5, 4, etc.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Knock at the Cabin
Interesting.
by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Dave Bautista and one of my favorite actors, Jonathan Groff, from the Broadway musical Spring Awakening.
He is good in this movie.
He's an incredible actor. I loved him ever since Glee season 2, and the
little girl is amazing in it.
Yeah, what a good movie.
M. Night Shyamalan was always one of my favorite directors. Definitely one of my top directors that started making movies while I was,
that's cool.
around.
But do you like Lady in the Water?
I don't like Lady on the Water.
Most people don't. It's one of the only quote unquote not great M. Night movies that I do like.
Right, I see. He has this trajectory, right? Like his first movie is Buried. It was like a movie that famously Harvey Weinstein recut. Then he did The Sixth Sense, which I think it blew me away. I think everybody was.
Of course,
it's a beautiful script, a beautiful movie. And then he had 2 movies that I really liked. Unbreakable, like Tarantino used to say, like the best superhero movie ever. The story of what would happen to Superman if he didn't know he was Superman, which
crazy.
I think is cool.
Yeah.
And then Signs, which I thought it was also brilliant in terms of the directing and everything. The Village is a movie that I like. And then it went to a few movies he did, Lady in the Water.
Yeah.
The Happening.
That to me was
I don't think I saw The Happening.
Mark Wahlberg and
Zoe
if
Deschanel.
you're scared of the wind or like plants, that became too much of a twist to me. I thought it didn't work. Although it has like a cool opening where like people are committing suicide and jumping from buildings.
That's so scary when in that Bird whatever.
Yeah.
That movie. What was it? Bird Watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Bird Box were
Bird Box with Sandra.
Bird Box. Yeah, I don't like movies where people are just killing themselves. That's so scary to me.
It's very scary.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and then he had a little bit of his worst, I think, when he did the Last Airbender was pretty bad. He did that one with Will Smith, After Earth, and his son, which his name wasn't even a part of the credits. They didn't.
That's insane. What is wrong with Will Smith? You know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think it's Scientology. I think he's nuts. I think he's beyond out there. I think he's way too famous for his own good, and
he did it.
He's just out there.
Yeah, he hasn't done great movies in a while. He won an Oscar recently. Obviously, everybody knows about that. And that
I love that movie.
That movie's good, and he's great in the movie.
He's a fierce defender.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with Shyamalan too, he then came back to do very small. Redeeming himself from all these Hollywood.
The Apple Show. I never saw it.
The Apple Show is great.
It is?
The Servant. Yeah.
Okay.
Although he only directed the first couple episodes.
Oh, that's like Scorsese with Boardwalk.
Right.
Yeah.
All of these directors do it like that. But he did The Visit, which was like a handheld, fan footage thing with 2 kids going to visit their grandparents.
Okay.
Amazing and scary and fun. Super low budget. Then he did Old.
Oh yeah, you
That
know
was
what's fun?
okay.
I liked Old.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
fun to watch.
And then knock at the cabin, which I think I think in terms of his style, I really liked it. The story wasn't like, I mean, it wasn't amazing to me, but it's always worth watching.
It's like The Whale, based on a play, one-ish locations.
Yeah.
I just liked it. I liked the actors in it a lot. And
Yeah.
I think movies are going through weird times right now, and that's why you get M. Night Shyamalan at number 5.
That's good. So my number 5 is The Holdovers. It's the new Alexander Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Payne did Election.
Well, that's on my list of movies I wish I had seen and I haven't seen yet.
Okay, so I strongly recommend it. It's Alexander Payne did one of my favorite movies called Sideways
Of
with
course.
Paul Giamatti, who's the protagonist of this movie. And this is a movie that takes place over winter break at a school, at a high school, where this professor, very grumpy, gets to babysit this brilliant kid who was also very, not adapted to society.
I want to see this, but with you and Sam.
Oh,
your
yeah.
old
I'm like,
student from last year.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And our intern.
And our intern. Yeah. So it's a movie. It's a dramedy, like in his style, has really funny moments, but it's very dramatic. Amazing acting.
Okay.
It takes place in the 70s, and it looks like a 70s movie. Everything about it, like the style,
the trailer,
look. Yeah.
The
So I strongly recommend it. Since you guys haven't seen it, we can skip over. But yeah.
No, but that's exciting.
Holdovers.
It's out already to buy. I don't know about to rent, but I'm excited to see that movie for sure.
I think you'll like it.
Okay, cool.
What about The Skeleton? What's your number 5?
Okay, so mine is The Killer.
Oh.
Okay.
I just watched The Killer last night because it was on my list. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. It's a movie full of voiceover, so it's Michael Fassbender's voiceover.
Okay.
And it kind of has a little it's reminiscent of Fight Club in a way, just that internal monologue going on.
Interesting.
A really good character piece. It's set up in chapters, which is really interesting. So I really liked how it was structured. It's not a movie full of action. It's more of a movie full of due diligence.
But it has good action, right?
It has some good action.
Barely any action. I actually saw it in the movie theater.
Did you like it?
I put it as one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Movies that I think are worth watching is David Fincher. Who's
I have to see it.
Very like a sniper in terms of like directing, really precise. Is Michael Fassbender,
who famously has a large penis.
I mean,
what?
Yeah, and
you didn't know that?
You can see it.
I actually, you know what? I had a feeling.
Who hasn't seen it?
Exactly.
It's like he's in a
but I'm
movie
glad
called
you had a
Shame,
feeling, Skeleton.
and you can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I'm a fan of Bones.
I think The Killer is definitely worth watching. I wasn't enamored by it. It wasn't one of those movies that got me to the next level, but it is always good to see good filmmaking.
My hair's doing a thing today.
Oh, is it?
I cut
It's
my
like
own
going
hair.
out of control for some reason today.
Yeah, well, I didn't put hair gel in, and so just warning.
Well, you would have, you could fool me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think The Killer is worth watching. It has a beautiful scene with it's based on a comic book, right?
Okay.
And like the idea behind is like this samurai, going to see an older samurai and like having this big conversation about their lives and their paths. And that's the other one, the kind of like the seasoned killer is Tilda Swinton, who's also a wonderful actress. And it's basically a movie where like everything goes wrong. It's not really. Of
course, they make it a woman.
Yeah. It's like, he has all the possible. So as a killer, he has a list of people he goes after, and he encounters every possibility. Like the person who begs, the person who tries to negotiate, the person who tries to manipulate.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good acting.
Really great score too by Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor. I think they won didn't they win the Academy Award for Soul?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they
Yeah.
did 7 as well. But I love Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I love his scores, and I just love David Fincher's composition in his movies. I'm a big fan of his composition.
I think I guess my biggest criticism is like I thought it was a little cold and I didn't connect with it on an emotional level.
Okay.
But-
super cold. That's a good assessment of it. It's cold and without feeling.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
You don't
definitely-
have feelings for everyone.
I'm excited
Talk about
to see it.
some Nolan movies being cold. you
Yeah.
know, and like that doesn't make them less
But-
good. It's just like I connected
It's just
with
different.
it less.
Yeah.
Nolan does it unintentional, and I feel like this movie is intentionally cold.
Okay.
All right.
So number 4.
Plane with Gerard Butler.
Interesting. I saw Plane.
I loved it.
It's not near in any of my lists. Because I mean, I always like action movies, so like
But these movies could be so bad,
right?
and yet they're not, which means they took extra effort into the script, and like I feel like there's some sort of speckling of love everywhere, and I just think that's so cool.
It's very entertaining.
I like when movies that don't have to be good are good.
Right.
And to me, that makes them great. I think that anyone who does anything in the world past the point of minimal effort is great. And I really enjoyed this movie, and I like Gerard Butler's last movie where like an asteroid hits like part of Florida, Greenland.
Oh yeah, Greenland. Did you see Kandahar? That's his latest.
I haven't seen that one yet, but
So you'll like it too.
Yeah,
'Cause he
I
goes to
loved
the Middle
Greenland.
East, and it's one of the first movies completely shot in the Middle East. You know,
that's
it's not
so
like,
funny. It's like shot there.
It's
They're
shot
like,
there.
You
It's not-
really went there, Gerard?
exactly. So
He's
he
like,
went.
yeah, whatever. I made $1 million.
Right. It's a movie about like him and his translator being basically caught on camera. So they need to escape the Middle East, and
So
it's
cool.
everybody against them. You know,
It's
and
like the coolest version of Argo or
right.
something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So it's a cool movie in that genre of like
Yeah.
just popcorn movies.
You
that
go to
are
the
well
end
done.
and it's like executive produced Prince Ali Ababa, and you're like, okay, we know where you got your money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a big thing now in raising capital in tech is that they're,
Oh, yeah.
they're realizing there's so much more capital in the Middle East, and they're like, F it, let's go.
Yeah,
Get
I
the
wasn't
money there.
planning to talk about this, but a movie that I haven't seen that I want to see is called Origin. It's by Ava DuVernay. She's this black filmmaker who did
Friday.
yeah, no.
Oh, I know.
She did what's that movie? Anyway, she did a big Disney movie. She was having troubles
Okay.
funding this movie, and through alternative ways of funding, and that's why I like it a lot, because I think it opens the doors to Foundation, the Ford Foundation, Melissa Gates, other people made this movie happening.
That's cool.
And nobody put money to recover the money. So that means that the movie is going to be a success no matter what.
Yeah, if
So
you
it's
don't
a-
care about money, you could do a lot.
It's a different avenue. And I haven't seen the movie, but I heard it's really good, and it's about race and things like that.
How
But yeah,
fascinating to watch art where there's no incentive for profit.
right.
I
It's-
really want to see
in
this now.
In this world, it's very difficult because the business and the art goes hand in hand.
Yeah, who wants to throw away millions of dollars?
Right,
Of course.
exactly.
Okay, well, you sold me. I have to see this.
Yeah,
now. That sounds
It's
amazing.
interesting.
Yeah.
So
What's your number 4?
my number 4 is a movie called Past Lives.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's a movie. It's an indie movie.
Isn't that the one Rudy saw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rudy liked it a lot.
Is the first film by director Celine Song,
Mm-hmm.
and I was blown away.
Okay. How come?
It's a romantic movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Korean American director.
Okay.
She's a playwright too, and the movie, the concept that the movie plays with is called inyeon, which means that people are destined fated to be together in multiple lifetimes.
Yes, of course.
So the
twin
movie-
flame where you meet in every lifetime. I understand.
And so the movie explores the idea is like about these two kids who meet in Korea. They have this bond, and then one of them migrates to the U.S. and becomes an American. They reconnect like years later, and they have this like love affair, but it's like at long distance.
Yeah.
And now years and years and years later, they reconnect again, and she's married. He's not.
In the same lifetime, they keep reconnecting.
Yeah,
Been there.
Right, and but it is beautifully done. Greta Lee, which is a great actress, like she's in the morning show.
Okay.
And she's
I don't love that show.
You don't love the morning show?
I tried watching. I watched a lot of it.
I thought it was pretty good, but yeah, by the third season, I guess a little too much, but I liked it. But anyway, she's good in the show. She's amazing in this. I think it's like
I gotta see this.
and it's a movie, such a personal, in the small movie about characters, and so well done, and it's romantic in a way that is like makes you okay.
Sounds like back in the day
real.
movies, like
Yes.
Before sunset, or like
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has that tone of like, because it has a little bit of melancholia too, because
Yeah.
this, they have different lives, but there is something about them that keeps them connecting.
Do you believe in that? I think it's a little bit romantic.
I think it's
for literature.
Exactly. I think I like the idea of it. I don't know if I believe in it in terms of my personal life, but I do believe that it's a beautiful concept to
Yes,
explore,
of course. Because we could be married to like probably 2 billion people.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. It's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was impressed that this is a first-time movie. Amazing.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. If it's top 5 director or debut. Like, that's huge.
And it went to the theaters, although it was a small, limited run in like the bigger cities. And
it's a North Korean film, or
not
it's
yet.
a Korean film.
It's
I didn't say that to be funny.
It's a Kim Jong-un produced. It's an American film, but it is about a Korean American.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a foreign film or not.
No, it's not a foreign film. It's just an indie in the U.S. which.
So it'll get Best Picture, the regular category.
It would. I think it's too indie for that. I'm not sure if it'll get some sort of nomination. But
didn't Parasite break the mold on that, where international film got Best Picture?
That is right, Skeleton. Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I like. I like that. That's
I do too.
we can throw in an international film.
It's BS that American movies would only be in the Best Picture
that's not that doesn't work like that.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I just I was.
They
confused.
have to be distributed in the U.S. But so that's how a movie like Parasite went,
Exactly.
or like a movie like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Or there's a few movies like that got Life is Beautiful that get the nominations, but they need to be distributed in the U.S.
Intense. Life is Beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
One-time watch.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, sad, but good sad.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so Skeleton, what's your number 4?
So I'm sure this is on your guys' list, so we'll skip over it. It's Oppenheimer for me. But I rather mention the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 movie. Now, it had its issues, but I always think Tom Cruise is worth watching. I mean, I love what he does. I love his stunts. The stunts are great in the movie. The story is not great. I have, higher expectations for the second part, but I just think Tom Cruise is just worth watching. So I just wanted to mention that.
I think when Tom Cruise and Christopher Maguire connected, Christopher Maguire is the director, the writer, but he also directed him in Reacher. Those were his first movies. And before that, Christopher Maguire won an Oscar for Usual Suspects. He's a great writer. He rewrote Mission Impossible 4, the one that happens in Dubai, Ghost Protocol, and then he directed everything else. I thought the Mission Impossible movies got to a different level of like consistency. I think they look beautiful. They're not in my list in terms of like best movies, but for example, I would rather go see this than Plane. I think it's such a great orchestrated symphony.
I didn't like this latest one.
You didn't.
I think they peaked at the last one, which is why I left it off the list.
It had its issues for sure.
Yeah.
The last one is amazing. And I think story-wise, I never go here to see this story that is going to blow me away, but a filmmaking and fun that is rather top. And obviously, I think Tom Cruise has to be a little crazy in terms of like always wanted to top himself. So I think they build these stories and like, what else can I do?
I had when Tom Cruise did that motorcycle jump, right, where off the ramp, and then he does the parachute. I actually had a dream where I was going off a ramp in a motorcycle and I was falling. So that's how much that stunt affected me. I was like, oh my God, he's doing it, like he's crazy, it infiltrated my dreams.
Right. I think as a stunt goes, it's amazing. The previous movie he did that fall, that free fall.
Yeah.
But the one that has always been crazy for me was the one that where he grabs the airplane and it takes off with
at the beginning of the
and I thought that was like, how can someone do that?
That's
it is like
amazing.
Visually incredible, but he has done so many crazy things, right?
Oh
like,
yeah, of course. Even the car chases, like
the car chases with the Beetle,
motorcycles and stuff.
I think he's amazing. I think those movies are fun and they haven't disappointed me.
No, yeah, the latest one just didn't hold up to the par of the ones previous because they were just so incredible. So I did leave it off the list for that reason.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to number 3.
Oh, well, my number 3 just came out. It's the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer.
What? So that's how much I haven't even seen the trailer.
Oh, well, 77 million people watched it just like on one YouTube account.
Right.
It's, I think,
incredible.
I think a giant pop, like 1/8 of the earth has seen it.
Who's in that movie and who directed? Do you know anything?
Grand Theft Auto 6?
Yes.
Well,
or this is just the
actual just trailer for the video game.
This is the trailer for the video game.
Yes, it's not a movie.
Okay.
It's not a movie.
I see.
It is so well done, though. It looks incredible. Tom Petty is playing in the background. The characters are a Bonnie and Clyde type character. It comes out in 2025. The trailer released.
In 2025, so you have to wait a full year.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking to someone. They said it's the most expensive project in entertainment history, and they believe it'll make the most money in entertainment history.
That's incredible.
It looks amazing. It takes place in Florida. I thought that 2023, for me personally, was a weaker year in film, and so that's why I was so excited about the GTA 6 trailer. I had to slap it on the top 5.
That's incredible. You definitely cheated, but it's a fun cheat because so when I was in film school, like The Dark Knight came out, and at the same time The Dark Knight, I think it was Arkham Asylum, came, and it was a video game that started matching the numbers of the movie. And I was like, oh, this is incredible. So I started playing it. I thought it was an amazing game.
Yeah, I loved it.
And then I had this moment where I thought, like, look, in a few years, there's going to be a moment where graphics-wise, we're going to be in a movie, like as realistic as a movie.
Yeah.
And with the Spider-Man and all of those, you can see that.
Yeah, we're there.
And then emotionally, you're going to start making choices that are similar to ones on the movie because video games don't have it. They're always in the action. You never make, oh, do I let this character die, like a Spider-Man, or do I have to rescue? The moment that starts happening and affects you, then it'll be entertainment that is not much because a movie is 2 hours or 3.
Yeah.
These days, a video game is 40 hours. So it's going to be...
Well, even a video game seems daunting to me. Like in the new Spider-Man 2 on PS5, like there are like moments that have nothing to do with fighting where you help someone graffiti and it's like actually like a sweet moment. And there's like, it's super funny. Like Miles Morales has like a deaf like friend, so they're always signing and stuff. It's very like,
It's interesting. I don't think they'll ever compete with each other because a movie is a passive thing, right? Someone telling you a story. I don't think
you sit there and watch it.
Right, and a video game is more an active thing. But I definitely they're in terms of visuals, they're so close now, and it's incredible.
Oh, GTA 6! If you see the trailer after this, the graphics are incredible. Half of it looks real.
Cool.
Like I think it's gonna change. I think video games will be different after.
Cool.
Yeah.
So so my number 3 is a French movie called Anatomy of a Fall. The director, her name is Justine Triet, and she won the Palme d'Or at Cannes this year with this movie. It's a movie that explores. It's about a writer of who's very successful.
Okay.
Her husband dies. Apparently
In a
fell
fall?
from their house, like top floor,
Mm-hmm.
and she's accused of murder.
Okay.
There's no witness. They only have a son that is blind or almost blind from an accident. And through the process of the trial, which is most of the movie is this trial, you start discovering things about her and the marriage and the complexities of a marriage,
Yeah.
and how she, had lovers, and how everybody starts judging her for her life choices. She's a strong woman, right? Like, in all this, I guess,
How
inherent sexism that society has has nothing to do with the fact.
Did you like it?
I
mean, obviously.
Yeah, I love the movie. I think it's really well done. Explores things really well.
Yeah.
I also, looking back, in my list, like 2 women directed my top 5 movies, which I also think like it's talking about that, how that landscape is
0.
changing. Right. But I think going a little bit less Hollywood and more international. I mean, I guess the biggest one that it is in my list of honorable mention is Barbie, another
Me too. That's on my honorable
directed
mention.
film, which is impressive, at that level of Hollywood. But yeah, Anatomy of a Fall, I think is a great movie. I think it's gonna be nominated for Best Foreign Film for the Oscars.
Where's it from?
France.
Okay.
And the movie's in French and English.
Okay.
Yeah. What about Skeleton? What's your number 3?
I have a feeling this is on your list, Carlos. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I love that movie.
So good. I actually saw it twice. I saw it once with my son and then another time with my godson, and I was happy to see it both times because it was fantastic.
It is in my honorable mentions. The only animated movie that I really like this year. Yeah. I'm really rooting for Inside Out 2 next year.
Oh yeah,
because the first one blew my mind.
Pixar's got to bounce back, man.
And Pixar needs something different. I did see
Wish,
Elemental,
Luck.
Elemental was terrible.
And it was like, it lacks it visually. It was beautiful, but it lacked the magic. I saw Wish, I saw Luck. Yeah, I saw most of the animated movies this year, and wasn't. I mean, the only one I haven't seen, and it's in my for sure I have to watch, is the Boy and the Heron by Miyazaki.
Oh yeah.
Which I've heard is amazing. It looks beautiful and it'll be a little different. But Spider-Man, although I like the first one better,
I did too. Yeah.
the second one I thought is style-wise beautiful, and then story-wise pretty entertaining and yeah, I liked it.
It's on my honorable mentions just because I did like the first one way more.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2.
We're getting to number 2.
My number 2 is Oppenheimer.
Oh, interesting. That's okay.
We can go back to that.
Let's go back to Oppenheimer. What's your number 1 then?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
All right. So we have the first 2 the same, but backwards. My second one is Killers of the Flower Moon, which we obviously is this in your list too, Skeleton?
Killers of the Flower Moon was my number 1. Number 2 was Barbie for me.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
Barbie.
Oh, okay.
So we've talked about Barbie extensively.
Liberal cock. No.
Yeah. And we talk about Oppenheimer. About Killers of the Flower Moon extensively. You guys can watch those episodes.
Yeah.
Amazing movies, both of them. Mm-hmm. Barbie's in my honorable mentions, and Killers of the Flower Moon is my second one.
Yeah.
But we can discuss a little bit. Oppenheimer is your number 2, my number 1. Is that on your list at all, Pete?
That was my number 4.
That's your number 4. Yeah, you mentioned that. So, what about Oppenheimer? That's the only one, I guess, big Hollywood movie we haven't tackled this year.
I just have to say you were right, Christopher. We have this discussion about Christopher Nolan's characters once they go down the call sheet to third lead, fourth lead. I think they get more two-dimensional as you go down, but I think in this movie they were just as three-dimensional as the lead characters. I thought Christopher Nolan, I think it's his best movie. I think he's not finally, but I think we saw him make Memento, make all these movies, and he made The Dark Knight, and then he goes on to make Interstellar and all these other ones. But I feel like the growth is really showing now. He's been lifting weights for years now. Now he's an athlete. This is really damn good.
I love a lot of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
I had issues with some of the other ones. Understanding that, I mean, the base is like that. He's an amazing filmmaker.
Yeah.
I just think like we had problems with some coldness sometimes.
Yeah.
I know,
Even just
like
story sometimes will mess me up, but
right,
this,
like
nothing.
playing with time, playing like he's always like pushing the boundaries of storytelling, going back to more like a novelistic way of
Yes.
structuring stories. This movie blew my mind. It blew my mind in a way that I hadn't been in the theater for an experience like that in a long time, and I thought this movie was pure cinema, and by that I mean it's beyond the script. It's not just so. For example, I think Barbie is a great movie that is a great script. It's like translation is there.
yes.
In Oppenheimer transcends that, and the putting of images together creates an experience that is different than a screenplay, than a book. It can only be done in a visual form, and it's interesting because it's an adaptation of a 600-page biography.
Yeah.
That is very unadaptable in that way. He wrote the screenplay in first person, like so. And everybody was commenting, the actors, like saying, "Okay, we want to see." He wanted to make sure that everybody saw the movie through this one character, right? And I thought the editing is very bold and interesting. There's a lot of internal
Quick cuts.
things that are happening to this character that you understand by seeing a chain reaction or visualizing a metaphor or I don't know. I thought it was a very, very interesting movie. Amazing acting. Obviously, I think he's gonna.
Cillian Murphy was unbelievable.
I think he's gonna win the Oscar.
I've deservedly so. And I thought Robert Downey Jr. was
Robert Downey Jr. I think he's gonna be nominated for an Oscar. Matt Damon was good too, but maybe less spectacular in this sense of like. But yeah, it's a movie based on those three actors. Every single side character is an amazing actor, right?
Yeah.
You see whatever Florence Pugh or was Ramek, the guy who won the Oscar?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek.
Yeah.
Yeah, like doing like a character that is like a minute long. It's
he's
amazing seeing these great actors doing.
It seems like one paragraph.
Yeah.
Lines.
Yeah, I forgot. I mean, I'm
Safdie, Ben Safdie? Wait.
Oh, isn't one of those the Sadfi brothers?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that really is him?
yeah,
Oh, so in my head I was like, is that fucking him?
yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
And there's like, anyway, I
that guy's a good actor.
good actor.
He's really like,
Yeah,
that's incredible that so when him and his brother making movies, I'm like, usually it's like if Jonathan Nolan was like a good actor. It's kind of crazy. What a talent.
some people are like that. And
Well, it's
hate
Scorsese's
them for
blessing, right? Because Scorsese produced didn't he produced Fast Time or Good Time, right? Or did he produce Uncut Gems? I forget which one. Because I know Scorsese became a fan of that.
Yes, it's true. I forgot. Yeah, I do not know. I just know they're preparing a new movie with Adam Sandler.
Oh, really?
And I think it's gonna be a very interesting new collaboration because the Uncut Gems was amazing.
Yeah. I like the one before even better.
Yeah,
I thought Good Time it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
but definitely there's a lot of talent and some directors or writers that can act, you know, and you know, Scorsese can act even if that's not his main thing. He can do characters.
This guy's a really damn good actor.
But
I
like
mean,
Greta Gerwig, like she can act. Obviously, she came out as an actress. So it's like
what talents? Like,
Carlos, Scorsese executive produced Uncut Gems.
Yeah, and so when Scorsese produced Uncut Gems,
yeah.
what I thought to myself was, oh, he saw Good Time, loved it. They got a meeting with Scorsese, and he gave him the blessing, and that's why they're just crushing.
Probably
now.
that makes like a perfect logical.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Time's my favorite Safdie brothers movie.
What's up?
Good Time's my favorite Safdie brothers movie.
Yeah, I just rewatched it recently.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Oh my gosh, just like the opening, everything about it is perfect.
And Robert Pattinson's so good in it.
Yeah, I love
he's
Robert
good.
Pattinson so much.
Yeah. So yeah, Oppenheimer. I feel like everybody should see it. I saw
it on an iPad,
You saw it
Mr.
on
Nolan.
right. So Nolan is gonna hate you
Yeah.
for this. I saw it on the IMAX. I actually saw it twice. This is
Okay.
the only movie I saw twice this year in the theater because first I saw it in Spain with my dad, and
Okay.
we didn't have an IMAX theater around, so we
Yeah.
saw it on the biggest one we could see.
Yeah.
It blew my mind in a way that was, like I said, it's difficult to articulate because it was like, seeing cinema working. I could take the dialogue, and it has a lot of dialogue,
Yeah.
but it was like how this puzzle makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, is it written like that? No, it's edited.
Oh, yeah, it's
a lot of
edited like
editing
that.
makes it.
How do you even write that and then edit that? It's like that's like beyond me.
Yeah, and it's a true movie. I think he deserves I think he's gonna get nominated for Best Picture and Best Director, and I think it's gonna be
A double?
no. I don't know if he's gonna win.
Because that's pretty hard
because
to do.
Scorsese's movie is amazing too.
We should see. We need to keep track on who is lobbying. So we'll be able to tell from
Right.
like Variety and the Hollywood Reporter will do reports on those.
Right,
But you can
I mean,
really predict who will win.
Scorsese
Yeah.
has Apple behind, and I think Apple got their taste on an Oscar already with
Yeah.
Coda, and I think they're gonna push hard.
It's so funny with Coda. It's like apparently Apple's budget to promote for the Oscars was like nothing to them, and
Of
they're like,
course.
we just collect these Oscars.
Yeah, this is a movie that, by buying, I think they bought it for 50 million and it cost 5 something or
Something
20.
insane.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was a great year too for
that.
a small movie too, because it was COVID. It's
Exactly.
probably the worst.
Yeah,
year
you
of
can't
movies.
like plan this out in your life and hope that you'll make
And
a
Netflix,
45
after Netflix put in like Scorsese with The Irishman and
Yeah.
Cuarón with Roma and all of this money, and then
Yeah.
Apple comes in and gets that Oscar. So
It's like in sports, it's usually the veterans who aren't as great anymore who make
Yeah.
50 million a year, you know.
totally. I think there is an argument to make with. It's difficult to rank movies. I think Scorsese himself doesn't like.
Oh yeah, we're
this
just doing
idea
this for
of
fun.
of, of what's best.
Also, I'm a dad and I barely get to see movies, so there's so many movies I haven't seen.
Yeah, and we can talk for a second about movies. I haven't seen a few movies that I know they're gonna be in my list because I love these directors. But I think if Scorsese were to win Best Director and Best Picture, I think he would deserve it 100%.
1,000,000%.
And if Nolan gets his first Oscar, I think I'm not gonna be mad because this movie, like I said, it clicked in my brain in a way that it made me so excited about movies, about
Yes.
being in the theater again, and about just the language of film.
Did it make you sad though at all? Because Oppenheimer made me a little sad. I always get sad when art reveals truth to me, and
Yeah.
when truth is like that, science and love is usually always correct, and then it's usually like man and politicians who are like lying and things like that. That just makes me so sad.
Right. It is it is a crazy story in terms of like,
Yeah.
on one hand is the power of the human brain, right? Like he gets to do this thing that is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like Matt Damon said, like, well, this is the
Most important thing
most
in the world.
in the
Yeah.
fucking history of
Yeah.
the world, right? And it's like they get to do this thing that is
Mm-hmm.
incredible, that is only gonna create this destruction forever and ever and ever, right? And
Yeah.
and he's always gonna have to live with that.
Oh my! You want
Even his conversation with Einstein, right? Like having those moments is like, you see, they're brilliant, but also they'll have to live with the consequences of dealing with that.
Did I ever tell you about? Okay, well, for everyone, McCone is the videographer of Bad Friends.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about him and Matt Damon?
No, what happened?
Oh my god!
Did he jump on Matt Damon?
No, well, he did do something similar with Dave Chappelle. He took a video of him up close, and we yelled at him for being.
Of course.
But I'll tell you this: McCone is friends with Damon's niece because they're the same age.
I see.
So we go to New York after a couple stops on the tour. We're there for a couple days before Toronto. And McCone, we meet up at 9. He was like, oh, it's just at Damon's niece's place. I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever, And then he goes, I was wearing the helmet from The Martian. And I was like, you son of a bitch, dude.
That's so
You
cool.
put on the Martian helmet.
Yeah.
I watched it like that day.
Right. I mean, he's an amazing actor.
McCone? I know.
No,
no, I know.
McCone, you are not an amazing actor. You're an amazing pain in my butt.
McCone, have that edited by Friday for him. I'm calling you later.
But yeah, anyway, I think I know Skeleton is not a huge fan of Oppenheimer.
No, I liked
He looks
it.
like he was in the
You're right. He was
Nagasaki.
too close.
I was there. I was too close to the bomb.
Too close to the explosion.
Here's my one critique, and I know some people. Thank you for turning my head. My neck gets broken. My one critique. Some people agree, some people don't. I feel like it was kind of a divisive movie. Some people didn't like it. I loved it. My one critique is that the pacing of it is that after the bomb, the movie felt like it was a step down from the bomb. Once out, because it was building up to this bomb so exciting. And usually Nolan movies, you think about like Dark Knight and just building. Well, this, I liked all the court scenes, but it just seemed like it was a step down from the action of the bomb. And I like that, but I understood the history of it,
right?
As being important, and there was a message there. That's just my personal thing, and that people can agree or disagree. Right. But that was just my one take.
With that point is interesting. I think there's certain movies like you Titanic, Oppenheimer, something like Lincoln by Spielberg.
But it's not about the bomb.
That is like, the ending. You know that the Titanic is gonna crash. Everybody knows that. The Lincoln passed that law, and the slavery is gonna be, and universal voting is gonna get passed. You know that they create the bomb and they bomb. But still, they're able to build the suspense. And that raced against
it's all
the
about
clock.
A spy, basically. Like, to me. Okay, I watched it on my iPad. I knew that there was no CGI in it. I saw the bomb scene. It didn't impact me as big because I was not in an IMAX. So to me,
the sound of that is incredible.
But to me, that wasn't the end of the movie,
right?
Because one, I also knew it was 3 hours, and that comes about 2 in.
Yeah,
and so I knew, but like because it was Nolan, Robert Downey Jr., all these great actors, I was like, injected into my veins. Give me all of it. I don't care if there's no bomb left. I want to see the court scenes.
And it's interesting because the structure of this film is like, right, they're trying to discredit this character as a personal vendetta or something very petty.
Yeah.
For his whatever he's trying.
It's a movie about ego.
So it's like two court scenes, right? One is in the closet, a closet, and the other one is happening in open court.
And they're both not like lawsuits, which is interesting. They're hearings.
They're hearings, and they're like, and they're not. Yeah, it's like not what you're expecting is what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
And it's about also like how terrible we are as humans. I feel like there's a lot of that in this character.
So sad.
I love Gary Oldman's scene.
Incredible.
Truman.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Oldman, you put him in the movie for another great cameo, like 10 seconds. He's amazing in it.
I didn't even know that was him.
Oh, Gary Oldman. I mean, watch Slow Horses on
I heard that's like the best show on TV right now.
It's amazing. I mean, he is one of those. He's, I think, one of the best.
He's like a Daniel Day-Lewis, right? Like, where they can just transform.
You can see him in Dracula. You can see him on Oppenheimer. You can see him in this. Is like you never recognize him.
Yeah,
he was Gordon and
Commissioner Gordon,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like he disappears in the characters.
Yeah, when he gets shot and then he comes back to life, I was like, what?
Right.
In Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That threw me for a loop.
I do feel like in terms of Nolan's abilities, I think this movie combines a lot of. I think your metaphor was good. I think he's an athlete. I think he has great movies already.
The Prestige was amazing. I think most of his movies are incredible.
But this movie, I think it puts him in a different place.
Yes.
And also the fact that it has grossed $1 million with this type of serious
$1 billion?
subject. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said $1 million.
No, $1 billion at the box office. I think like it connected also with our. I think he's the only director right now. Spielberg used to have this.
Scorsese used to.
Yeah, but to a way lesser degree. The fact that this is an adult movie that is also a mainstream movie, that is very rare.
Yeah.
That is like such a serious.
And it's about the American military, which is very divisive in the past
absolutely
50 years or whatever. You can't just say it's now, but I loved it. It made me sad. It made me happy. I I'm excited that I now know one of the Safdie brothers was in it. What's his name? Benny?
Benny Safdie, yep.
Yeah, like I've seen it twice. I want to watch it a third time. I watched it outside on my deck the first time, and the second time on
I
a
have
Delta
a feeling.
flight.
I have a feeling that it's gonna come back to theaters once the Oscars
Of course, that's when I fucking have to go.
I would recommend it because it is very immersive.
I will do that for sure.
And but let's talk. Let's talk about a couple things because
Movies we wanted to see.
yeah, there's a few movies that are coming out because we're recording this at the very beginning of December.
Yeah.
So there's a few movies that are coming. So this
Just
weekend,
like Spotify, they don't count the 12th month when they do the wraps. So
Right.
that's very normal, guys.
there is a movie that from all the movies. There's a few that I'm dying to see, but
Let me
there's
guess.
one I don't think you're gonna guess. What?
Ferrari.
For sure, Ferrari is my number 2.
Michael Mann.
Yes, Michael
Priscilla.
Mann. I'm Adam Driver. I'm dying
Okay.
to see that movie. But the one that I know is gonna disrupt my list.
Yeah.
My list is called Poor Things.
Okay.
Oh,
It's-
Yorgos.
Yeah, Yorgos
Lanthimos.
Lanthimos. He's
Okay.
the director who did The Favorite, which
Oh,
movie
okay.
I love. He did The Lobster. He did The Deer. What's the movie about the deer?
Killing of a Sacred Deer. Excellent. Oh, love that movie.
Right.
So those
he's-
movies are very divisive to me. I have a
They're
hard
artsy.
time with them.
Yeah.
I will see this movie, but I have a hard time understanding them, and that's just me being
You
honest.
know
Right,
why I
it's-
like those, like the Lobster and Killing of a Sacred Deer, because there's a supernatural element that.
Oh, I
just,
saw
like,
them. They freaked me out.
But I love that there's just this matter of fact, like, yeah, that this just happens, and you don't
Yeah.
see it happen. It's just
He did
yeah, it happens.
Animal too, about the guy who believes he's a dog, right?
Dog Tooth or
Well, yeah. Anyway, like
Okay.
he has those movies. Then I thought The Favorite was amazing. Olivia Colman was amazing in it. Emma Stone was amazing.
oh,
About
I
the Queen,
fucking love that movie.
that movie. And this one is the follow up to that. It's again Emma Stone.
Oh, I
And
saw
it's-
that movie in Austin at the Alamo Draft
Right.
House. I loved it. I was so high with
Yeah.
all third
But
date.
That movie
Loved
was
her.
amazing, and I think this movie has a little bit of that surreal element. It's about a woman. It has William Dafoe as a crazy doctor.
Oh, awesome.
It has it's kind of like a Frankenstein type of thing where like a woman gets free
When is this
from
come
the
out?
It comes so this Friday. So I'm going this weekend if I can
I'm
escape.
excited.
But
Escape is the term he uses.
It won the Venice Film Festival this year.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna be amazing. I
You're like
think
Venice Beach. No.
no. I think Ferrari was at Venice. It didn't get great reviews. Still, I'm
It's Man. We'll watch it. Yeah.
absolutely. Other movies. I want to see Maestro.
Okay.
That's the new Bradley Cooper movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Netflix produced movie, so it got a very limited release.
Yeah.
It's in a couple theaters, and I didn't get a chance to go watch it.
Yeah.
It's coming to Netflix this month.
Let's see Saw 10.
I actually saw Saw 10. It's not in my list. It's better than some of the later
They
ones.
got good reviews.
But it wasn't amazing. The only horror movie that made my honorable mention
Mm-hmm.
was Talk to Me.
Okay.
I think it's a movie. It's by the Raka Raka
Yeah,
team.
okay.
You know, the YouTubers. I think it's original. I think it's different and creates a new mythology. Really visually stunning. I was so impressed by them and I was surprised.
Okay.
And I recommend that. I think it's the only horror movie I put in my list. It's difficult to make good horror movies, I feel.
You know what movie I really want to see that
Yeah.
I think I want to see Wonka.
Wonka's coming.
Yeah. I want to see if
with
that blows my mind away.
Timothée Chalamet. I think it's in a couple weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, I think the Kardashians were at the premiere.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
new
yeah.
Flame. Yeah,
Right.
Timothy Chalamet all over town.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah.
there's also Priscilla, Sofia Coppola's.
I saw Priscilla.
How
How
was
was it?
It's in my honorable mention. I think it was a great movie.
Oh, really?
I think it didn't come farther than my honorable mention. I mean, I think it's a great movie. I think the actress, I forgot her name, is incredible in it.
Elvis or Priscilla?
Priscilla.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Like the movie.
Sorry.
Because I love the Elvis movie.
Look, it's just an opposite approach on everything.
Of course.
One is flashy as
Yes.
the Baz Luhrmann, yet kind of like filmmaking flash.
Sophia Coppola does nothing like that.
No, this is
Yeah.
a more an intimate movie.
Yeah.
The Elvis portrait is great. The Priscilla Presley portrait is also great.
Mm-hmm.
I think although I really like Elvis as a fun movie, I think this movie is a better movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I think her, and I forgot the name of the actors who plays Elvis and Priscilla. Is the guy from Euphoria. The really violent boy.
Yeah.
You know, and
he's Elvis in that?
and he's really good.
Yeah.
But she is amazing because she plays a 13, 14-year-old and then plays
boy.
a 30-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
It is incredible seeing and knowing that it was an indie movie shot that, you know, in the same day she could have to do both roles.
Don't Andres and Core. I didn't know she's 13, 30. I don't know.
Only you go there for that. I think she's gonna be nominated for an Oscar for the role. I think Sofia Coppola is always interesting and
Of course.
definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I love her movies.
Yeah.
Somewhere is my favorite movie of hers.
Lost in Translation for me. I think that movie blew my mind.
Damn, I should have said that.
Yeah, but he makes good movies.
I
He makes
rewatched
good movies.
Lost in Translation recently. It's incredible.
It's so good.
It's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I have some more honorable mentions.
Wait, more movies that
okay.
we haven't seen. Okay, I want to see Coup de Chance.
Okay.
It's the new movie by Woody Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I heard really good reviews in Europe.
Yeah.
The American reviews destroyed it, and I'm not sure if it's gonna get released in the US.
So Andres, I heard you're a big fan of Woody Allen, and you also like his movies. That's a Anthony Jeselnik joke where he's like,
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson. I also like his music.
Right. It's a difficult, very controversial figure. I have obviously a lot of objections to his persona and his personal life. As movies, they were so impactful for me growing up.
Yeah,
And I think he's such an amazing writer that it's difficult to separate for me those things. I understand that some people take a stand on like a moral.
Yeah, it's hard for me to do that as well.
But I'm excited to see it, and I'll watch it in Europe with you know.
We should do a trip to Europe to see it.
Right.
An SOS trip. Our plane crashes.
There's 2 Spanish movies that I haven't seen that I really want to see. One is called Close Your Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The director's name, you guys probably won't known him, but his name is Victor Erice. He made a movie. He only made 4 movies in his life, and almost like 30 years from the last movie to this one.
Oh, wow.
But his first movie is called The Spirit of the Beehive.
Mm-hmm.
It's in every list of the best movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a Criterion collection. I would really, really recommend it. This movie got amazing reviews at the festivals. It looks great. The other one is called The Snow Society.
Okay.
And it's by a director who made the show Lord of the Rings. He made the second Jurassic World, the one that happens inside the house.
Yeah.
He made Impossible, the first movie for Tom Holland with
I remember that
Naomi
movie.
Watts.
Yeah.
His name is Juan Antonio Bayona, and this is a movie about that. Probably you guys know the story about this plane that crashes in the mountain. In order to survive, the people have to eat the other people.
Oh, yeah. That sounds awesome.
And there is a big documentary about it.
Yeah.
And this movie, again, great reviews in Spain.
I need to
haven't
see
seen
this. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. More international things. So Falling Leaves by Aki Kiarostami. It's a Sweden director.
Mm-hmm.
Another love story. I heard great things about it.
Okay.
And then 2 American indie movies. One is called Showing Up by Kelly Richard with Michelle Williams.
Okay.
I heard great things about it. And the other one is The Zone of Interest, the new movie by Jonathan Glazer, who's an artist who's amazing.
Very famous, yeah.
And that's my list of movies that I really want to see that are like a 2023 movies that, I don't know if they would have affected my list or not.
Yeah.
But definitely want to see them.
My main ones that would have affected the list are probably just Ferrari and the Holdovers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I love the Saw movies. Saw 10 could have definitely been number 5 or 4.
Yeah, you might displays the GT.
The GTA 6 trailer. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what are your honorable mentions? Movies that are definitely amazing that we haven't...
Super Mario Brothers, I thought was really good. I liked it. I had a good time. I enjoyed it. It could have been terrible. It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Chris Pratt in it. I don't know.
I thought it was a fun
And Jack
movie.
Black was great.
Yeah, Jack Black. Yeah, sorry for not even mentioning him. That's
Fun
ridiculous.
movie.
Yeah.
Kids movie. Not to make
I love
my list, but
Mario.
I liked it.
Yeah, I love Super
Okay.
Mario stuff. I have Barbie, of course.
Yeah.
I have Across the Spider-Verse. I have Air with Ben Affleck
And
and Matt Damon. And then I have the horror movie Megan. Yeah, which I thought was really
Yeah, and again, like Blumhouse this year did a couple like amazing box office movies, Megan, and we talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Like
I should have added
sequels.
Thanksgiving. I haven't seen Thanksgiving.
I haven't seen it yet, and it's true. It's in my list of things to see. I don't think it's gonna make it into my best movies with Eli Roth, but I want to see
Tim Dillon and the Addison Rae girl's super hot. Oh, it's so funny. This girl's on TikTok. I saw she's like at every Academy Awards or Academy Gala at the museum on Wilshire. And I'm like, there are a lot of really powerful people who watch this girl's TikTok.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
You don't end up on that red carpet. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio was there.
Yeah,
and this bitch is there? This is crazy.
I actually read good things about Thanksgiving, so I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Okay, a couple honorable mentions for me. May, December, a new movie by Todd Haynes with Natalie Portman.
Okay.
You can watch it now on Netflix. And it explores, and Julianne Moore, obviously, and explores this idea of like an older woman and a younger kid. We've seen many movies that have explored this, but this one takes a little bit of a twist and explores the psychology behind. I think
that is a weird situation. I've been in that situation before. And it freaked me out.
It's very strange. It's I saw it growing up as like friends in high school with like
older women,
with older women or older men. And it was
like
always
gay friends or young girls with older men?
Young girls with I mean like 16, 17 with like 40, 50.
Really?
And the other way around. And me being their friend felt it was a completely different thing. I didn't have that judgment that I have now. Like, wait a second, there's something wrong here. And
but was it a little weird? Because I feel like I'd be like, my friend that I play video games with is going to go hang out with some of my dad's
very
age.
strange. And like there's some people that want to grow up. I don't know. It's a very complicated relationship.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But this movie's doing well, and Todd Haynes has a good hand. He did Carol.
Okay.
I think it's a good movie to watch.
Okay.
Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Visually stunning.
Yeah.
Not my favorite movie, but definitely worth watching. We mentioned The Killer. We mentioned Barbie, Priscilla.
I like the Budapest Hotel even more. Like,
Budapest Hotel more. But I think he brings energy to me by doing something different that is artsy and beautiful.
To me, it's all about Rushmore. I'm just obsessed with that movie.
Oh, I love Rushmore.
I think it's like top 5 funniest movies
My
I've ever
favorite
seen.
was Anderson because I have that like little like I love the sentiment and the love stories and all that is
Moonrise Kingdom?
Yeah, Moonrise Kingdom.
That's so interesting.
I just love that movie. I think visually it's stunning.
I need to see it again.
It's two kids connecting. I thought it was like a beautiful love story and different and awkward and weird and fitting in and all of those themes.
But it's funny because that same summer, my friend Sandy, who is a comedian, he lived with a director in one of his spare bedrooms.
Yeah.
And this guy made the movie Kings of Summer.
Yep.
That indie. And it came out the same summer as Moonrise Kingdom, and it was like kind of the same like story. So no one saw Kings of Summer.
Right.
Yeah. And
I thought it was beautiful. Definitely Rushmore is a movie that I love. I love his bottle rocket and everything he does.
Darjeeling Limited. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think it is so good.
I talked with Kalila about,
Life Aquatic.
Life Aquatic. Yeah. And then Bobby loves the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah. You know what? I never connected with the Royal Tenenbaums. I connected more with Rushmore and the others.
Yeah. For me, like in the new style, I think the Budapest Hotel probably is the best one, the one that has the most colorful.
I agree.
But anyway, I think this movie is worth watching. It's fun and it has a collection of stars that,
Yeah.
That is a great. Another movie that I saw recently that I thought it was worth mentioning is Dream Scenario. Is the new Nicolas Cage
Nicolas
movie.
Cage, I want to see that one.
And it's about, everybody starts dreaming with Nicolas Cage character. And it's interesting.
That's
and then he
funny.
becomes famous and everybody wants, but then he starts dreaming bad things about him and then he's hated. And, so it's an interesting movie. A Master Gardener, the new Paul Schrader. Dark Like He Is. Probably never going to be a mainstream movie, but really interesting, great acting.
Okay.
We talk about Talk to Me, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And then the last one is El Conde. It's a vampire movie, a Spanish vampire movie.
Hell yeah.
That has a metaphor for Pinochet, the dictator that ruled Chile for so many years. And the
That
premise,
sounds amazing.
it's on Netflix now.
Okay.
It went to Venice Film Festival, got great reviews. And it's imagining a world where like Pinochet is actually a vampire and he's actually been living all this life and has like, as the metaphor, Chile under his claws,
Wild. Okay.
And it's done in black and white. And Pablo Larraín is a director who he made Jackie, produced by Aronofsky. He made No, a movie that was nominated for an Oscar. He's an amazing director. I think I would recommend it too. Anyway, there's more movies that I like this year. I think this is a good list.
Can I give a couple comedy mentions?
Oh yes, and I have one comedy mention. Sorry, Buttons. It's again.
I know. I
Another
haven't seen it yet.
first-time director, women who did an amazing job.
So you liked it.
I loved it.
McCone told me he liked it. For people that don't know, McCone is 24, 23, so I don't trust him completely.
Right. I think the way that I saw it is a new, updated,
Super bad, right?
Superbad
Yeah.
with like in tune with today's.
Yeah.
But from a women's perspective. Now
Okay.
it's all the protagonists are women.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really funny, really, really fun to watch. But
Okay.
yeah, Skeleton, tell us what are the favorite comedies?
So this is kind of a hybrid comedy action, but I was impressed by this one, the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, I heard it was great.
Here's a movie that was that appeased fans and was really, really well done.
Well done movie.
Because you look at Five Nights at Freddy's and like, hey, the fans liked it, but everyone kind of agreed, yeah, it's not really good. This movie is good. It's well made, I was actually
very
pretty impressed.
surprised. I was always a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, the show when I was a kid. I played a little bit of the role game.
I never played or knew much about it. I just knew this movie got good reviews.
But it seemed like such a silly movie. The trailer didn't even look that great.
Yeah.
I saw it was blown away. I actually thought it was, okay, this is
So you saw it?
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it. And yeah, I've tried to see as much as I can as I can usually, but I think it's a movie that is you like a little bit of adventure, has the comedy. I think it's more of an adventure than a comedy, but it's a light adventure.
But Chris Pine really sells the
Pine is
comedy.
such
And
a
Great
good
actor.
it's just
yeah.
a fun movie. And then my other comedy,
Absolutely.
straight to Netflix, You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. With Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
I really enjoyed it, and it was
It's his
refreshing
daughter,
to
right?
see.
Yeah.
In it?
It's his whole family.
It's his whole his whole family. Again, another movie that I'm never been a huge Adam Sandler fan in the comedy world. Like I think
Yeah.
because probably I grew up in a different country. Like the
course,
comedy
yeah.
didn't translate as well.
Yeah.
I like him more than his like Punch Drunk Love or Uncut Gems. And it's
Yeah.
more like awkward, like different
Even
roles.
funny people.
But
he's
this
great.
movie, funny people.
Yeah.
The way that went straight like those Sandler comedies.
Yeah.
But I thought this movie was really interesting, really well done. It has a lot of heart and it's funny.
Okay.
And he's really a secondary character in this
Yeah.
movie. It's
So he
not
doesn't have to do everything. Yeah.
right. But definitely a movie worth watching. It's not a haha comedy. I think it's more like that dramedy tone, right?
Okay.
Skeleton.
And it is. And I would argue that if it wasn't his family in the movie, it would be a bad movie.
Oh.
I just felt the
Oh,
connection
interesting.
with his daughters.
That's
his
cool.
wife. I think it's Idina Menzel.
I forget
Right,
her
that-
name.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
that plays his wife, but his wife is also in the movie. So I
Right.
think if he didn't have his family in it, I wouldn't have felt that connection. I just felt that heart was there because his family was in it. If it was like somebody else, and I just, and he had to act with some other young actress. I feel like would have fallen short, but because his family was in it, thought it was great. The daughters are funny, and it's just a good movie.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think, obviously we did I tried to put a couple international movies in the list.
Yeah.
I think we did a more American-centric film review of the year.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be amazing movies coming from other countries
Of course,
that we should watch. I think it's good to watch international films, even if you don't like to read subtitles, because
Oh, no, you should.
you get a little bit of a cleanse on your palette of filmmaking styles, because Hollywood is so powerful that it takes over. So that's what, even like watching indie American movies, like cleanse a little bit of like that structure that you see so many movies that look the same.
Yeah.
And although they look amazing and there's a great storytelling way, that it's not the only way to tell stories. And
It's like
it
eating
helps.
steak every day or something.
Right. It helps to
Yeah.
go
Seen
through it
Lupin,
sometimes.
that TV show, the French show on Netflix.
Yeah, Lupin.
Yeah. I love that show,
Yeah.
but it's like you need to like read it.
Yeah.
Like really be there with it. I like subtitles.
Yeah,
because
I'm
it
going to
makes me
recommend
present.
to everybody a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Argentinian TV show. It has Robert De Niro too in it for like a secondary character. The name of the show is Nada, Nada.
Yeah, Nada.
Nothing. It's amazing. It's really, really funny. It's a comedy with like, Argentinians are usually amazing at script writing and have that irony inside.
Wait, question.
It blew my mind.
Do you think it's because they have Nazi backgrounds, like German, Jewish background?
I don't think it's
Oh,
because
okay, I
of
just
that,
wanted to
Carlos.
say- I
I
just
do
wanted to
not
say it.
think that's
I just wanted to say it.
where their strength comes from. But definitely,
From 100 years ago.
I've always been a huge fan of Argentinian filmmaking. I think there's a movie that was nominated for an Oscar a few years ago called Wild Tales.
Yeah.
Amazing, and you can get a sense of that sense of humor and like
That's cool.
a different way of looking at the world, and it's always like great acting, amazing acting.
Is
Is it Argentinian Seinfeld? It's a show about nada. That joke.
Yes.
Oh, I like that one.
No, it's. I'll leave it there. Watch it and tell me. I think it's on Hulu.
Okay. I sent you that Mexican TV show recently
Yes,
too to
you
watch
did.
about like the two handicapped like
Right.
kids.
I haven't seen it yet, but
It is
I'm curious.
very vulgar. Yeah, one wants to be a comedian and they're handicapped and they move to Mexico City to like make it big.
Right.
So, guys, since it's our New Year's episode, what are your anticipated good movies you're looking forward to for 2024?
Oh gosh. I didn't research this.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Dune 2, hell yeah.
Dune 2, who was pushed twice. Bad studio, bad Warner.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to get in this month, right? And
Yeah.
people were really pissed. And then I think it was March, and now it's the summer, I think, of 24. Okay. I do not know what's coming.
Yeah, you know Skell?
I know that definitely I'm rooting for Inside Out too, because I recently saw the trailer, and I remember how much I love Peter Docter when he directs and writes, and I haven't seen him. He did Soul too.
I just want to see The Critic.
Definitely,
in 3 years.
I doubt that is that a 24 movie.
Oh no, it's like 26 probably.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Or end of 25? No, 26.
Maybe 25.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
There's Mean Girls coming out January 12th, which is
I wanna see Mean Girls.
I'll watch it. It's not
which
something
I'm
dying.
skeptical. I'm skeptical of.
I'm not, because the musical got such rave reviews.
Yeah,
So I
and-
do want to see it. And if like Tina Fey has anything to do with it, she's a gangster writer.
Let me look at what is the most anticipated movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Oh my God, Gladiator 2. with
Gladiator
Pedro
2.
Pascal.
We didn't talk about Napoleon. Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. That would have been on my movies I have to see.
I saw Napoleon. I think it's incredible how it's shot. I think the battle scenes are amazing. It didn't make it into my list. I think it's a good movie.
Okay.
I didn't think it was an amazing movie. Joaquin Phoenix is great, like always. And like I said, like directing wise, it's amazing. I think the story wasn't as interesting to me, but definitely, another every time a director like this makes a movie, I think it's
I wanna
worth
see
watching.
Gladiator 2. Damn.
Anyway, the big movies that are coming don't seem that exciting to me right now, but I know that there's always gonna be.
Here's one. This is one I just found. Nosferatu by Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I've seen some images from that movie.
Yeah.
It looks good. I'm curious.
Did you guys like The Witch and The Lighthouse?
Yes, I did. I did like them both. I like The Witch a little more. Lighthouse was a little more artsy, but
Yeah, I
still
like
very
Lighthouse a lot,
interesting
yeah.
and really good performances. And I like he made a third movie, The Northman.
The
That's
Northman.
right. I love Northman.
Really good.
He's 3 for 3, so you know, he's
really
on a roll
strong
right now.
guy, and obviously, you know, and I know Guillermo del Toro is making a Frankenstein movie. So when a director like that is, you know, making movies that are also about something that I'm interested, it's always cool.
What a
all right.
year.
So what a year, yeah.
Fun
look,
year.
If we left out some of the movies that you love, please comment on the comments below. Leave us a shout out, and maybe you know, tell us what are you excited about, because we can maybe analyze some of those movies.
Yeah, we'll talk about it maybe. Yeah.
And remember that we're going twice a month from now on. All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Love you guys. Love you a lot.